much time has passed since our last trip, war and such, that it was hard for me to remember when the last one happened. In the geriatric group, however, it is not uncommon for forgetfulness to take strange forms. In any case, it was decided that we would finally go to the Golan Heights again. Yes, we have been there already, and not once. But what can you do when your country is so small that you can store it in a folder that will fit in an onboard trolley of any commercial airline and there will still be room left? So what do? You reinvent yourself. This time it was decided that the theme of the trip would be the Arameans. I will tell you more about them a little later. We were scheduled to meet one hot Thursday afternoon at the Megiddo Junction. There we followed the usual procedure: refueling, gossip, and exchanging opinions, which is a very popular sport here among the natives. Since opinions were very much divided, all we had to do was to head north and start riding in line towards Beit Shean, coming to Tel Rehov. It took some time to organize the therapeutic group, but in the end, it succeeded, and Amir lectured us about the historical importance of the place. Tel Rehov is the largest mound in the Beit Shean Valley, and one of the largest in the country. Its area is about 100 dunams, something like 25 acres. Although it was a biblical city, it is not mentioned in the Bible. Rehob served as regional capital during the period of Egyptian rule in Canaan, something like 3,000 years ago. While Amir was working hard to fight the strong wind, I tried to imagine the settlement as it used to be. Would I understand the language? Since our group is known for severe to extreme attention deficit disorder, we had no choice but to keep our words short and set our sights on the Golan Heights. We rode as expected along the Jordan River north to the foot of the tree-bordered triangle between Jordan, Syria and Israel and climbed the beautiful road to the Golan Heights. Nothing exciting happened along the way except perhaps that at some point we all lost the satellite connection, so our navigation became completely intuitive. Despite of all that, we arrived safely in Alonei Bashan, where we already felt like home.
הולכים כרגע צפונית, צפונה, לאורך בקעת הירדן. יש פה רוח מאוד חזקה היום, אפשר לראות את זה, אם תסתכל לנו את האופנועים. בצד ימין שלי אפשר לראות את ירדן, הערים של ירדן, ורמת הגולן בעצם שלשם אנחנו נטפס עוד מעט, אחת הדרכים היפות. השעה היא 6:30, 32 מעלות כאן, סך הכל כביש די ריק. התחל הרבה יותר עמוס כאן, אבל יכול להיות שכולם כבר הגיעו הביתה. כפרים שאנחנו רואים בצד ימין וכפרים ירדנים, שבעצם אנחנו עוברים לאורך הגבול של נהר הירדן ועוד מעט נגיע לכנרת, עכשיו נחתוך ימין לכיוון הרבה ומשולש של גבולות.
The Arameans were a group of semi-nomadic Semitic tribes who settled during the 11th century BC in the area of present-day Syria, Lebanon, and Transjordan, and established independent kingdoms there. Their connection to the people of Israel is deep and historical, and it begins already in the stories of the patriarchs in the Bible, where a direct family connection is described between the patriarchs of the nation, such as Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and Aramaic families. Throughout the monarchy, relations between Israel and Aram range from political alliances to bitter military confrontations, especially with the powerful kingdom of Aram Damascus. Despite the wars, The cultural influence of the Aramaic was enormous, and the Aramaic language became over time the international language, lingua franca, of the ancient Middle East. Following the Babylonian exile, the Jews adopted Aramaic as their main language of speech and writing, in which part of the Bible, the book of the Zohar, and the Talmud were written. Eventually, both entities were conquered and assimilated into the region's great empires, but the Aramaic language, linguistics, and cultural heritage remains intertwined with Jewish identity to this day.
טוב, יש ניווט, אין ניווט, אין לנו מושג קלוש איפה אנחנו נמצאים. יש ניווט, אין ניווט, אנחנו בסוף נגיע לאלוני הבשן. אם קודם היה כתוב שאנחנו באיזה בשן, אז בטח אלוני הבשן זה פה באיזשהו מקום. נראה מושג איך הגענו לפה, זה לא הדרך הרגילה, אבל בסדר, שיהיה. בשעה טובה. יאללה רבותיי. נתפלל. כן, יש לך, צריך לסמול על האירוח כפרי הזה. אין לי שום ספק. טוב. חברים יקרים, השעה 7:20.
אני מציע 8 יוצאים.
מצטוותים על החדרים, ובשעה 8:10. לא שואל, יש איזה...
רעבים מוות.
זה חצי שעה נסיעה ואנחנו לא יודעים את הדרך.
בשעה הזמנת את השולחן אבל.
ב9, אבל הם ביקשו להגיע לפני, בסדר?
מה השעה עכשיו?
8:10, כולם פה.
Since the geriatrics are riding on their stomachs, we carved the good old Gillis restaurant to satisfy our hunger. The real heroes of the evening were entrecote medium well. If you're a true vegetarian, you're asked to jump to the next section. Unfortunately, alcohol was not allowed as there is evidence to show a bad influence on riding after drinking. That strict rule of us helped bring everyone back safely and also came out cost effective.
הסכיתו, על פי המקרא, איזה מלך ישראלי נלחם בארמים והרחיב את גבולות ממלכתו עד לנהר פרת, תוך הכנעת ארם דמשק וארם צובה?
ואני עונה בלנק.
זה קרב קרקל, לא קרקל.
מי זה יכול להיות כבר?
איך קראו לקרב הזה? קרקל?
The next morning started with the slow ride to Mount Bental. I was saddened to see that the famous cafe and restaurant named Kofi Annan did not survive the war and was shut down. What was left are the remains of the old military fortifications and the famous sign that commemorates on the distance off the point from the various capitals of the world, and I thought what fun it would be if there was peace and it was possible to just get on the motorcycle and ride in any direction without dangerous borders. On Mount Bental, we learned about the relations between Israel and Aram, and also about the importance of the Aramaic language, which survived years after the people themselves were gone. The Aramaic script, which served as the basis for quick and easy documentation, made it the international language of the region, and everyone spoke it. Yes, even Jesus spoke Aramaic. From Mount Bental, we headed west towards Metula on the wonderful descent from the Golan Heights. Sar waterfall, which had once been full of visitors, was empty this time, and the road to Nimrod fortress was deserted. Suddenly we were stopped by a bored policeman at the intersection who decided to stop the gang elder in order to check my documents. I must say that I have never been stopped in Israel just to check my documents. It was exciting.
אתם יכולים לנסוע השאר,
לא, אנחנו...
אבל אתם ביחד.
כולנו ביחד.
בסדר גמור. על הכיפה.
עצרת את אחי זקן.
מה איך היה בגולן? בסדר?
ישנו באלוני הבשן.
כתבתם דובדבנים? דובדבנים אכלתם? דקה, אני ארשום אותך.
In Mitzpeh Dado, we received a security overview of what was done in the area during the war and the plans for the future. And because the prophecy was given to fools, we decided to part there as friends, and each man rode home. Yes, you make plans and God is laughing. See you hopefully next time.